Hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. Wow, my voice went deep. What happened? So I think it's about 2 years ago now that I read this book, The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. So yeah, I only read the first book because I didn't have the rest of the book. I didn't have book number 2 and 3, so I never continued it. But I went to the library because I'm broke. So I went to the library and I got the rest of them. So, you know, to refresh my memory of The Prison Healer, I reread The Prison Healer. Yay! So, turns out I remembered most of it, if not all, because I really liked this book the first time around. I still really like the book the second time around. so there's that. So what is The Prison Healer? So The Prison Healer is about Kiva. Kiva, she's kind of accidentally ended up in prison when she was a small child because her father was taken to prison and she wouldn't let go of him. So she kind of just tagged along. But several years have now passed and her dad has also passed. Sad news. So she's now alone in prison. So her dad was sort of a healer in a sense. She learned a lot from him and things happen and now she is the prison healer. Hence the title and what she's called most of the time, to be honest. So she's just, you know, living life in prison. Yay! Surviving day by day. When a new inmate, as it were, turns up, and however they turn up into the prison, they always pass through the, what is it called? The healer area? The hospital? It's not really a hospital. Anyway, they always pass through Kiva because Kiva has to mark all the prisoners with, well, their prison number, the new name, the new prison name. So she literally has to mark them with a knife, like scratch them up. Yeah, but a new inmate turns up, but this inmate, she is, well, she's not really conscious, let's say. So she's pretty much dying before she even enters the prison. So yay, good times. But this prisoner is supposedly the rebel queen, so you know, she has to be sentenced even more. So there's this thing where they give an even bigger sentence to the prisoner. So there's this trial where if you are deemed to be that kind of prisoner, which needs needs not just to be imprisoned but to have an additional sentence put upon you, there's this trial, what was it, trial of the elements or something. It's a trial where basically you have to survive the 4 elements, and if you do, you can walk out of the prison alive. But the odds of you surviving all the trials are next to none. It's basically a way to entertain the other prisoners while this said prisoner gets killed earlier, I guess. Because Kiva is the way she is, like she just wants to help, and this new prisoner, the rebel queen, she is, well, she's not very conscious. Let's say that. So Kiva takes it upon herself to do the trials for the rebel queen because, yeah, that seems like a good idea. That is basically The Prison Healer. That is basically this book. Now, for the next book, or books rather, book 2 and 3, I won't be able to speak much about them without spoiling things from the first book. If you don't want to watch anymore, this is your end point. So, second book, The Gilded Cage. Now, in The Gilded Cage, by the end of The Prison Healer, Let's just say Kiva makes it through all the trials and she is now set free. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. She has also with her, is he the crown prince? Yes. So one of the friends she makes in the prison, well, he wasn't who he said he was he? He's a new prisoner as well, so it's a very new friendship, let's say that. But he tags along with his, I guess, personal guard is the right word to use, and also a small child, which kind of ended up in prison, sort of like how Kiva ended up in prison, and his mother is long since passed, so he's all alone, and because she's now on the outside, she can claim him as family. So yeah, that happened. Anyway, these 4 people have now escaped prison, been let out, I guess. And now book 2. Okay, I can't remember his name, but the crown prince. So the prince, because he's the crown prince, it means he has elemental magic, which is how Kiva survived the trial by ordeal. Kiva's little secret is that the rebel queen was her mum. Yeah. Which means Kiva has a magic too, but it's the healing kind of magic. So they both have magic, but she is keeping that from the prince. But she's at the same time struggling, keeping this magic in check. And that is basically what happens in this book. It's very much she's struggling to keep her magic from bursting out, which is kind of what it just wants to do, while getting to know his family and being like integrated into his family, welcomed in, and also getting in contact with her brother and sister that's been on the outside this whole time. They are kind of the rebel leaders right now, so, you know, getting them to meet the prince's family and keeping all those secrets. Wow, so many secrets, so many secrets. So this book was slower than the first one, but not so slow that it was boring in any way. It just was, it felt a bit slow because the stakes weren't as high, and so we're just learning a bunch of things in this one. Yeah. Moving on to book number 3, we have The Blood Traitor. So this is the final book in the series. Now, spoiler for book 2, her sister, Kiva's sister, she isn't just a bitch. She's like an evil bitch. She's basically overthrown everyone and taking control of the kingdom. So in this one, first off, Kiva needs to escape the Salandov prison that she was in the first book again. So she hasn't just escaped. She does escape prison, by the way. She hasn't just escaped prison once. She's escaped prison twice now. And now she needs to like band together with the prince and a few of the prince's family. Why can't I remember his name? It's driving me crazy. Anyway, they need to band together, first collecting information on how to do things, and then overthrow Kiva's sister and take back the kingdom. There's a lot of things happening in this one, which is why it was so fast-paced, sort of like the first one, where we have these trials that's keeping us on edge, even though we should kind of figure out that since there is book 2 and 3, Kiva most likely survives the trials, because otherwise the book would have ended there. But that's a different story. that's a different thing altogether. So in this one we have betrayal and high stakes and like will they, won't they, and we are throwing curveballs all over the place, and I bloody loved it. So yes, I went to the library, got book 2 and 3, but I now very much need to buy book 2 and 3 to have in my own collection. I'm knocking things over. This is how excited I am about this series. So I bloody love this series. This is definitely a series that I can see myself rereading when I need a bit of palate cleanser. Because it's a YA series, we have a very easy read in a way. There is the fantasy element, which I sort of crave by now, but because it's YA, it's a lot easier to grasp in a way. It isn't as complicated as different kinds of books out there, but it still has all those elements and layers upon layers upon layers, which we crave as mostly fantasy readers. Let's be honest right now, I'm probably mostly a fantasy reader. I do read a bit of everything, I want to say, but yeah, fantasy is always the one that keeps pulling me back in. So yes, I definitely need to get books 2 and 3 to my collection, because I have book 1 since forever. No, that's not since forever, since like 2 years ago. 3 years ago maybe. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you all next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.